Good afternoon, Coolidge. Isn't this a fine afternoon? My name's John Covert. I'm representing the Livonia Tree City Committee. Every year about this time, we get together with one of the schools in the city, and the school jointly celebrate Arbor Day. For Arbor Day, we'll hear a little speech from the mayor. I'll tell you a little bit about her. She's kind of a tree geek, if you didn't know that. And we will hear from a lot of the students in some of the different ways that they appreciate trees. And then we will conclude by planting 3 trees over here in the parkland on the border of the school. A couple things before we get to that. There are 3 people on the staff here, the principal, Christina Collier, teacher Kelly Stark, and Jeff Skibo, who all worked very hard to put this program together. So I'd like to acknowledge them ahead of time. Now, when we plant the trees, normally the trees are just provided by the city, but it is possible for people to dedicate a tree to someone. So occasionally we will have a tree that was provided in dedication. And today we have such a tree. There was a lady who was on this committee, actually when it first started in 1999. She was a Livonia teacher, and then she became a city councilman. Her name was Valda Vandersloot. I remember her single name. Anyway, Miss Vandersloot passed away recently, but some friends of hers wanted to dedicate a tree to her, so we'll also have her in mind when we do this. Now, before we get started with our ceremony, I'd like to give you a little history. About 500 years ago, settlers started coming over here from Europe. They came over on wooden sailing ships. Most of them were pretty poor, and they came here to get a chance to own their own property, also sometimes for religious freedom or just for adventure. When they arrived at the coast of North America, they saw a wall of trees. There were trees all the way from Canada down to Florida. Everywhere the ground was dry, there were huge trees, big oaks and spruces and maples and pines all over the place. And that wall of trees extended inland for almost 1,000 miles, sometimes all the way to the Mississippi River. Nothing but trees. Under the trees it was dark. Wasn't a very good place for people to grow crops. And most of the people who came over here were very poor farmers. So they went to work. With nothing more than axes, they started chopping these trees down. And for almost 400 years, people waged war on the trees in North America. In some places, we're still doing it. I'm not saying it was bad, because they needed open ground and they needed sunlight in order to raise their crops, and trees were everywhere, and basically they weren't valued. They were just in the way. So for the first 300 years, they did this basically almost by walking and chopping, and the farms just kept leapfrogging each other as everything moved westward. In 1825, the Erie Canal opened. The Erie Canal was a 365-mile ditch that went from the Hudson River to Lake Erie. When the Erie Canal was established, boats could go up the Hudson River, barges into the Erie Canal, up to Lake Erie, and then all the way to the village of Detroit in some cases. Thousands of people came. When they got off in Detroit, there was nothing but wilderness to the west and to the north and to the south, so they started moving out into that wilderness. In 1825, Livonia was a forest, inhabited only by Native Americans. Right here, where we are now, there were huge oak, maple, and beech trees. Trees like this you could barely get your arms around. These poor farmers came with nothing but their axes and worked virtually all the daylight trying to clear those trees out and burn them so that they'd have a place to plant crops. Well, it didn't take very long, 35, 40 years, and almost all of Livonia became farmland. Just a few patches of trees were spared here and there. Some of those trees are now our parks. By the time of the Civil War, we were a city of farms, although we didn't become a city until 1950. People started to realize that maybe it wasn't so good to eliminate all these trees. Maybe the trees were good for some things, for shelter, for building material, in some cases for food. And so different organizations started to pop up to promote planting trees. In 1872, 150 years ago, in Nebraska, they had the first Arbor Day. They planted over 1 million trees on that Arbor Day. Now, Nebraska was never a place that was very rich in trees anyway, so I guess they needed them pretty bad. But the Tree City Committee came out of that Arbor Day movement. In 1999, Livonia joined the Arbor Day Foundation to become a tree city, formed a committee, and every year we have this celebration as part of our responsibilities as a tree city to meet with a school like this and allow the children to celebrate Arbor Day. So we'll start with that in a few minutes. First, we'll hear from the mayor, and then we'll have the students come up and do their thing, and then we'll plant the trees, as I mentioned. 3 years ago was the last time we were able to celebrate Arbor Day. I had the privilege then of introducing our brand new shiny mayor, Maureen Brosnan. Mayor Brosnan is not your average tree person or average mayor. She really likes trees, and part of her pledge when she became mayor was she was going to do everything to encourage the growth of trees in Livonia. That's why she's here today. Mayor Brosnan.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everybody. Are you excited to be here? I'm excited to be here. This is the best day of the year. We are going to do some really cool stuff today because we are going to get to plant some trees. But before we start, I want to introduce you to some people that are really special in our city. And these are some of the grown-ups that help to make sure that trees are important to us. We have some of our Parks and Recreation Commissioners here, and I want these people to raise their hands really high. I'm not asking you to jump up and down, but raise your hands, okay? Paul Condon is here, and he's with the Parks and Rec Commission. Ted Davis is here. He's our Parks and Rec Director. We've got Bill Craig on stage here with me. He's the chairperson of this tree committee and has been with us since the beginning. You met John Covert already, and we've got Jen Corey from Livonia Public Schools. They all serve on the tree committee, and they get a chance to work with Doug Moore out in the back there. And Doug, raise your hand. Doug doesn't want us to notice him, but he's a big deal. John Wojner is with Forestry, Ralph Williams, and Erica Flores, all with the Forestry Department. They are the ultimate tree people in our city of Livonia. And then Christina Collier, thank you so much for being the school that brought all these kids together today that are going to help us to celebrate trees. And then big special guest, Andrea Oquist, your school superintendent. She's right behind me. Isn't that cool? She came out today. She thinks this is really, really neat stuff, just like we all do. And then we have with us from the police department and with fire department, we have representatives from both of those organizations. Would you guys stand up here? I know you've seen them in your schools before. They represent our whole department, okay? Thank you. So, this is really, really cool. I was part of the tree committee early on when I first started on the Livonia City Council. And they asked one person to be on the tree committee, and I raised my hand. And shortly after raising my hand, they told me about this great Arbor Day event. And they said, is your hand still raised? Do you still really want to be dedicated to trees? And I said, yes, absolutely I do. And they said, great. You get to wear the tree costume. Wow, what an honor! The tree costume, me? So that was a really cool event. Since then, they have not let me wear the tree costume. I don't know why. Anyway, So the reason that we come together to celebrate Arbor Day is, first of all, that trees mean a lot to us in our city. It's not just a matter of planting something that we know is really good for the environment. It's a matter of planting something that helps to enhance our neighborhoods. When you ask people why they come to Livonia, why they want to live in Livonia, ask your mom and dads these questions. They're going to tell you part of it is because they love the tree-lined streets that your houses are built on. It's a big attractive factor, but that doesn't happen unless we take careful care of the trees. So 24 years ago, the city of Livonia celebrated its first Arbor Day, and we did that by planting trees at Grant Elementary. Now, those original trees and hundreds of trees that have been planted since then as a result of our Arbor Day celebrations have now grown really big and strong, right alongside the generations of young people just like you who helped us to plant those trees. So today, we gather to reflect and celebrate the work that so many in our community are doing to help us preserve the trees. And I introduced you to a bunch of those people just a minute ago. The city of Livonia plants thousands of trees annually, and our employees and our community members come together all across the city to preserve and to protect, to the best of our ability, those trees in our community. We understand that trees age, and sometimes for safety's sake, they do have to be taken down. But as soon as they're taken down, we're out there making sure that we're planting new ones, because we want to make sure that those tree-lined streets are there for you when you grow up and you get older and you decide that you want to come and live in Livonia and you want to live in nice neighborhoods with tree-lined streets. So it's my hope today that all of you come together with our Livonia residents and we cheer for the trees that are planted. We cheer for the trees that are going to be planted today, and making sure that we ensure that we've got the Livonia of tomorrow that we've all come to know and to love. So I want to thank you all for your coming together today and celebrating with us and for helping us to plant these trees. Part of the celebration is that I get a chance to present, I believe it's a flag, to the city of Livonia. And I'm going to present this to the chairperson of the tree committee, to Bill Craig. If you would please stand, Mr. Craig. And this is our flag that we fly every year commemorating. There we go. There you go. All right. All right. Hold it up high. Really cool. And this is a designation that the city of Livonia receives nationally. And it's because across the nation, we are a city that raised our hand 24 years ago and said, we are really going to take care of our trees here in Livonia. And the only way that we can do that is to continue to encourage all of you to do that alongside of us. So there's a saying, it's an old Chinese proverb, that the best time to plant a tree was probably 20 years ago. But the second best time to plant a tree is today. So congratulations for being here and helping us to plant some trees that are going to be part of your tomorrow. Thank you. And your principal now has some words of wisdom for you.
All right, thank you. Hi, everybody. Are you so excited? Yes! Okay, we're going to get started with some song and dancing soon. All right, it's such an honor that Coolidge gets to participate in Arbor Day. So we thank you all for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you guys say thank you? Some of you may be thinking, what is Arbor Day and how do we celebrate it? It's much like Earth Day, but except we want to plant trees. So we have some wonderful little trees on our stage, and then we have some big trees back there that we get to plant in just a little bit. So we're going to look forward to that. Did you know the city of Livonia is named the Tree City? Did you guys know that? I didn't know that either. What a fun fact. Someone did out there. Good for you. Take a look around and notice all of our beautiful trees. Can you see them? Look at that. Have you noticed them before? Oh, some of you have, some of you haven't. Today we are going to celebrate trees. Having more trees in our community, just like the mayor said, it gives us cooler temperatures, cleaner air, and we get to have healthier environments. And it helps us breathe. Did you know that too? Yes. Wow, you guys are so intelligent. Yeah, it does give us oxygen. Thank you. Many animals, birds, and insects call the trees home. Today is a great way to recognize their importance and to ensure that we have plenty of trees to look at and keep our community and our environment safe and healthy. Isn't that nice? Okay. I'm going to end with this. Advice from a tree. Are you ready? Okay. Stand tall and always be proud. Not really, but that's okay. Go out on a limb. Remember your roots. Drink plenty of water. And always be content with your natural beauty. And always, always enjoy the view. Now I would love to introduce Mrs. Stark, the green team, and our fourth graders, plus Mr. Skibo.
All right. Hello, and thank you to everyone involved in choosing Coolidge as an Arbor Day school. We're truly appreciative for this wonderful opportunity. For those who don't know me, my name's Kelly Stark. I've taught art at Coolidge for the past 12 years. I also coordinate our school's habitat garden programs and help lead our third grade student green team. Our student green team is a collaborative student-led team. They meet 1 to 2 recesses per week on their own time, working together on issues that affect our environment, such as recycling and conservation. Students have worked very hard this year to help earn our Michigan Green School status. We're so proud this year to find out come the beginning of March that we have earned Evergreen status, which is the highest point value awarded to a Michigan Green School. We are so proud of our students' hard work, dedication, and responsibility. Our students, as part of Arbor Day, have helped to select some of the trees that will be planted at the conclusion of our ceremony. Our students have also prepared a poem that will be performed live in front of our group and will help with the planting at the conclusion of the ceremony. Now I would probably like to present, over by Mr. Skibo, our 3 Masters of Ceremony, Bianca Carlson, Adelina Johnston, and Eleanor Slater. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bianca. Grade would like to perform a poem called Trees of the Fragrant
All right, my friends that are reading the poem, you're going to have to go up to the mic. This one right here. Hello? Hello? Leo, come on over here.
trees of the fragrant forest with leaves of green unfurled. Through summer's heat, through winter's cold, what do you do for our world? Our green leaves catch the raindrops that fall with a soothing sound, then drop them slowly, slowly down to spatter through the ground. And rushing down the hillside, a mighty freshener foams. Our giant trunks and spreading roots defend your happy homes. From burning heat in summer, we offer cool retreat. Protect the land in winter storm from cold and wind and sleet. With falling leaves in autumn, by breezes turned and tossed, we'll rake a deep sponge carpet warm, which saves the ground from frost. We give you pulp for paper, our field gives you heat. We furnish lumber for your homes and nuts and fruit to eat. with strong and graceful outlines with branches green and bare. We fill the land through all the year with beauty everywhere. So listen from the forest, each one a message sends. To children this Arbor Day, we trees are your best friends. Wow, that was a beautiful poem. I'm Eleanor Slater, and I would like to share a quote by architect Frank Lloyd Wright. The best friend on earth of man is a tree. When we use it respectfully and economically, we have one of the greatest resources on earth. Now please welcome our music teacher, Mr. Skibo.
Thank you, everybody. I'm Mr. Skibo, elementary music teacher here at Coolidge. What we have before you is our 4th grade entire class performing 3 songs for you guys: the Garden Song, This Pretty Planet, and All Living Things. Enjoy.
Inch by inch, grow my
Okay. All right. In just a few minutes, we're going to conclude our ceremony and we're going to plant some trees. So that's very exciting. And guess what's even more exciting? You have recess soon. Isn't that fun? Okay. So we will record the tree planting ceremony and send that out to our teachers so you can view that in class on your own time because it is going to take a little bit to plant those trees. My fourth graders, could you please come up? Yes. Oh, I am going to call Adelina up first. Okay, come on up.
Sorry.
All right. Got it? Yep. Can you reach it? Okay.
Those were amazing songs. Thank you, 4th grade, Lexi, Autumn, Dean, Kendall, and buddies Allie and Braden for sharing your talents. I'm Adelina Johnson, and I would like to share one last quote that you can take home with you today by writer Celsius. We plant trees not for ourselves, but for future generations.
All right, and here are our 4th graders.
I would like to thank Mayor Brodsman for keeping our city beautiful and clean.
Right here, you want to give it to me? Here, watch the bottom. I forgot to tell you we're passing out money trees, so hopefully it's going to bring them a lot of money someday. All right.
Thank you, Superintendent Oquist, for providing us a good education.
Thank you, Mr. Skibo, for teaching us the songs.
I would also like to thank Mrs. Stark for running our green team and also keeping our school grounds spectacular.
We would like to thank Mr. Craig and the Tree City Committee for the trees they plant for us.
I would like you to have this plan for Coolidge.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you to everyone who participated. We're so thankful that you got to come out and enjoy this beautiful day. We're so glad we didn't have snow. We had beautiful weather. So that is great. Thank you, parents, for coming. It's great to see you. And thank you to everyone on the stage and as well as the city members that help support Arbor Day. In just a few minutes, we're going to ask our 3rd graders and 4th graders to head back to their playground area. We're going to ask our kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade to stay here. We're going to say goodbye to our wonderful families, and we're going to go have some fun on recess. All right, thanks, guys.
Allie, Maya, Mila, Julie, Catherine, Leo, Jolene, where's
Rodwood, the Don Rodwood, and the tulip is out the top.
Aliana, nice to meet you.
If you back up just a little bit, you can get some of that soil. All right.
Oh, sorry.
That's what we have to play.
This is the girl power tree.
Yeah, we were watching people in the movie in the water. We used to go in Does anyone want some cookies? Yeah.
Mulch.
Yeah, I know. I shall steal all the mulch.
All right, everybody say trees.
And then go ahead and kick the dirt. It's fine.
Hands, yeah, we can go wash our hands. Thank you very much. Here,
That's good. Pass it to somebody else. Everybody gets a chance to plant it. I mean, water it.
We all planted it.
Yes, you all planted it. Yep. And everybody got dirty hands now? Because usually the dirtiest hands did the most work. All right.
gonna just put this like this. It's all gonna soak in there because that was a dry roots. It's gone down through the base of the tree and getting down to the bottom where it needs to be.
To get the windmill.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right, well,
We'll see ya. Take care. Take care. It's nice to have met you all. I like your middle name. Very cool.